Here we have a TvP between some European competitors here, between Clem and Gerald. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of OlimoLeague, we have the reigning world champion. We have the French Terran player himself. For Team Liquid, it is Clem. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. Here we go. Done. Here we go. As again, Clem, he is going to be the heavy favorite to, I would say, win the entire tournament. I was giving praise to Hero earlier, being like, yo, he's like the favorite to make a deep run and to maybe even win everything here. And that's true. I stand by that. But Clem is straight up the favorite of the tournament. He's the favorite player here. He is the reigning world champion, the best player in the world. Everyone looks to him to win whatever he plays in. And we'll see if anyone can bring him down. Can Clem be stopped? We're here to find out. We're here to find out. So far, we do have our standard openers. Clem opening up with something more economic is going to be a Rax Expand, no double gas. Honestly, something a little bit refreshing here, just because we saw purely double gas openers out of Percival. Here, we see something more economic. Reaper's on the way. Gerald, he's here to delay the expansion for as long as he can. I will delay for a second if that, as Clem will get the CC. At least Gerald did force the second SCV down to the low ground, and you can see Gerald just being as annoying as possible. Does haze away at the SCV. And pulls back. Again, just forcing some inefficient mining. Behind this, Gerald just getting his own expansion up and running as well, and soon to be getting to his tech of choice. What's it going to be? Twilight Council, Robo, or Stargate? Sorry, I was just blowing my nose. But yes, Gerald, he does save the probe. Let's go. He saves it. Does save the probe. Was almost hunted down by the Reaper. Does get away in time. Behind this, we have a safety bunker on the low ground. This is to make sure that Clem, because of his economic opener, he has less of a map presence with Reaper Hellion. But this means that he's going to be safe here to actually maintain that low ground against early Adept and early Reaper. Sorry, early Adept and early Stalker move outs. As Clem, he does slip into the main. Catching a transferring worker, at least trying to. Oh, gets one. Gets one probe, pulls away. Does pull away. Behind this, getting to zone 111. Do have some Hellions on the way here just for some scouting information. No commitment to Hellion. Tech lab as well for, I would imagine, early tank production. We'll see if we do open up Cyclone. I mean, Clem hasn't really seen the tech, so a Cyclone would be a safe way to play, as he doesn't know if it's going to be Stargate or not. As Geralt is opening up a Blink Stalker. And interesting, that is an add-on swap. Okay, Tech Lab on the starport, going to be opening up, I would imagine, Banshee. As the initial units do skirmish. They'll get shut down. Raven opener. Okay. My apologies. Not a Banshee. It's going to be Raven opener here out of Clem. This is something that we really don't see too often anymore. If you remember, it was, what, a year ago, 2 years ago, Raven openers and Interference Matrix was very common in this matchup. But this was also during the era of Robo and Colossus-based openers, or Phoenix Colossus, where Ravens, they had a lot more utility as they could disable and shut down Colossi. Here, Ravens are mainly used to harass. We much more rarely see investment into the upgrade of Interference Matrix in TvP nowadays. It's a lot more rare. It's, yeah, not as viable. Meanwhile, Gerald, he expands. Does expand behind this. He's got one gateway here at the natural, one gate in the main, so 2-gate blink into a third. Economic build here by Gerald. And from here, Gerald, he can start taking. Robo is done. He can work towards a Bay. Speaking of, there it is. Bay into Colossus production. So very economic build into a standard follow-up out of Gerald. Nothing too fancy. Shuts down the Reaper. Reaper goes down. Clem building up his bio. Getting for his own 3-1-1 setup. Third TC's on the way. Tells us that Clem is not going for a 3-base all-in. Sorry, for a 2-base all-in. He is getting a third. Working towards stim, working towards +1. Building up his upgrades. And will soon break out. Just waiting for those upgrades to move out across the map. And we'll see if Gerald can slow this down. As again, Gerald doesn't really have much of an army. Because he's been taking so much, he's just focusing on Colossus now. Into Charge, into Forge and +1. Building up his economy. And Gerald, he's just hoping to contain. Hoping to contain the Terran. As Clem does slip by, the Raven coming online. Gets a probe. Gets 2 probes. 2 probes going down. He gets up to 3. Not bad. 3 probe kills. Bearing in mind the Raven is still alive and can throw down more turrets. Can be a thorn in Gerald's side. As Stim is now done and Clem can finally break out. Doesn't want to waste the Stim. Oh! Takes down the Observer. Observer gets sniped. Tank sieges. And Gerald has to back off. So a nice breakout here from Clem. Bleeding out only a couple of Marines. Third base now being taken. Clem does hold on to that tower. And brings it down himself. Like, mate, don't bring down my own tower. I'll do it. So Clem will shut it down. Gerald getting another base. And so far, it's just been a very passive game. Very passive, very macro. Just slowly building up our bases. Clem is now getting his 3rd fully operational. Likewise, Gerald is securing his own 3rd and getting his 4th up and running as well. As that's going to be another 4, another 5, another... Oh my, almost up to 6. 7 probes going down. Very nice counterattack here by Clem. The Raven is still alive, still between the bases. Raven is still active. And likewise, Gerald, he has eyes on the main army. The Observer's right here. So he sees everything. He sees the rotations. He sees the lack of rotations. Gerald trying to keep up. Setting up a Zealot run by. Really just waiting for a moment, waiting for a distraction. Then he can strike. Likewise, Clem being active. Storm is on the way for Gerald. Not going into Disruptors, so triple Colossus into Storm. He's being very adventurous with his army. I don't think he really intends to fight, just to poke in. To allow the Zealots to wreak havoc. But again, Clem has also just been very defensive. Just been chilling back at home. No drop play. The only harass has been from the Raven. Nice snipe. But only from the Raven. Speaking of the Raven, once again, getting 2 probes, getting 3, 4. Oh my god. 4 workers going down. There's still just been no answer to that 1 Raven. Ay, ay, ay. How many kills so far? 12. 12 kills on the Raven. Gerald, he rotates with the main army. This time less sure about. Takes down a Widowmine. Zealot's being set up on the right. Colossus are going to be punished here. Vikings moving in. They do get some hull damage. Likewise, Zealots, they get caught out. Nice catch here from Clem. Cleans up the Zealots. Gerald going for his own counterattack. Storms are ready. Storm is done. Clem spots this with the CC. It's gonna respond. Nice snipes. Ooh, we'll take one storm to the face though. Storm pops up. At the same time, here comes the main force. Clem, can he hold on? Nice storm here on the army. Very nice storm. Gerald poking in. Round for the most part gets dealt with. Planetary's on the way. And Gerald pulls back. He does pull away. Now getting up to 4 Colossus. That's a lot of Colossus. Getting up to 4. Oh. Nice EMP. EMP pops off. Clem is max. And Gerald's not there yet. He's getting there. And has a lot of potential with that army. A lot of it comes down to the storms and feedbacks. Ooh, speaking of, EMP does pop up. Still more storms left over. Storm does connect. Nice snipe here on the ghost. No! Oh my god, the tower gets knocked down. Takes out the Colossus. Not like this. Colossus falls. That's something I haven't seen yet. Of course, the tower does do damage. Oh, the Nova never connects. Yeah, brutal connection here on the Marauders. Marauders, they survive. Clem keeps pushing. And Gerald, he's in trouble. He is in trouble here. Colossus getting crushed by the tower. Ay. Not like this. As Clem is still maxed, forcing his way through. There are some swords available. Here come the storms. Up. Oh, nice connections. Very nice connections. Storm lands. EMP as well, though. Catching out that flanking High Templar. Vikings, yeah, they can commit. They can shut down every Colossus. He gets 1. There's 2 left. 2 Colossus remaining. Gerald, he plummets in supply. Does plummet. As Gerald, he's trying to keep up. Clem, he's already remaxed. And Gerald, he's reinforcing with more High Templar and more Disruptors. Does he only have 1 Robo? Oh, only 1 Robo. Again, this is a big reason why Gerald is having a hard time remaxing. He can only make 1 Robo unit at a time, 1 Disruptor. Getting another base, getting another expansion. He's up to 100 probes. Arguably too many. I mean 100% too many. There's too many workers, too many probes. It's eating into his army. His army's going to be that much smaller. So Romite comes in. Does hit the mineral line. Main army rotates. I'm trying to keep up. Collapsing in the army. Up. Storm stays turned away. Some decent storms though. Nice connection as well with that Nova. Despite that, Clem is still chasing him down. And Gerald just doesn't really have much to work with. And he loses another Colossus. Nice flanking storm. The storms. They're keeping Gerald in this. Storms, they pop off. They soften up the forces here of Clem. Clem's still trying to rally in. Coming in for a flank. Never goes off. Colossus goes down. And this is still a better trade here for Clem. And where's the splash damage? No more storms. No more disruptors. No Colossus either. Just Blink Stalker. Just Blink Stalker remain. Gerald trying to reinforce. 1 disruptor has arrived. Has to move forward. Again, he still has 100 probes. He has a bank. He can't spend his money. He's trying. We'll take down the CC. Command Center is going to be going down. At the same time, the Raven is still popping up. That 1 Raven, 18 kills. He's crazy. Hey, gets a CC. Still safe to the command center. Meanwhile, 2 more disruptors going down. There's some feedbacks, but it's still a better trade here for Clem. Liberation has arrived. He has freedom. There's too much freedom. As Clem, he sims in, and there's nothing to stop him. The base was warmed down. Gerald, he saves the probes. Let's go. He preserves the 100 probe counts. And from here, Clem, he should be snuggling at control. Like, he's going to break down the expansion, break down the Nexus, snipes the High Templar. Colossus has arrived. I mean, hey, there's no more Vikings. But there's Liberators. The freedom is still here. Trades with the Stalkers. Now going for the expansion. Another base going to be falling. At the same time, Gerald, oh my god, the DT counterattack. Doing well for himself. Gets some SCVs, but it's still not enough. Doesn't get the expansion. Clem just keeps pushing. EMP pops up. A nice storm. Oh my, the storms. The storm, they continue. The storms have been good. It's just we need more than just storms, though. That's the problem here. That throughout the entire game, the storms have been solid for Gerald. Clem just takes him to the face. But what about the bases? The economy. For a while, actually, the economy was just a little bit too good for Gerald. It was hurting him more than anything. EMP grazes the army once again. And Clem just rotates. He backs off, he rotates. No need to keep pushing. Playing it slow. Collapsing on the army. Comes in from behind. Brutal EMP once again. And Gerald, he cannot escape. Now we have Vikings. He flies now. As there's still one more Colossus. Gerald will try to hold on. He has a bank to work with. But Clem, he cannot be contained. He overwhelms Gerald, forcing him further back, down to 3 bases. And Gerald's still in 73 probes, which is impressive. But the army is what's lacking. And just being chased down once again. The Colossus, the Stalkers, we're down to 3. Down to 3 Stalkers. And now we're being fueled by copium a little bit here. Oh no. The cope is real. GG gets called, and Clem, he will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Clem will take lead in the series. Shout out to Gerald. I mean, again, it was a pretty passive game. It was a pretty passive game initially for the first half, with both players just getting a 3rd base, getting a 4th base, getting a 5th base. If you remember, Clem, he was only harassing with that Raven. He had 18 kills on that Raven by the end, which was crazy throughout the course of the entire game. But when it came to the maxed out armies, again, this is where I do believe that Gerald's high probe count was hurting him more than anything. Even though both armies were maxed out, Gerald, he was missing out on arguably like 20, maybe even at times up to 30 army supply that could have been there to help him. Instead, he just had too many probes. And he had a massive bank. He had like a 4K mineral bank at one point. He had like 4K 2K or 4K 3K. He had a lot of money to work with, but he was maxed, so he couldn't actually spend his money, and he wasn't teching either into Sky Toss or anything like that. I don't think he needed to. Like, he was trading well with his army, just didn't have the numbers, didn't have enough to sustain himself. GG, well played. Clem does take a lead in the series, and that leads us into game number 2. It's going to be Gerald's map of choice. And once again, as it's been a popular choice here, we're loading into ley lines. Let's go. We're loading into ley lines, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Polish Protoss player down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is Gerald for Streamer Zone. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Like your uncontainable mirth brings me joy, never change. Ah, thank you, mister, thank you. Mr. Mintzler, even. Thank you, do appreciate it, I mean, I'd like to believe that I won't change. What I mean by that, I have put myself through the ringer in the sense that, you know, we've been casting on this channel since, what, 2017? And I think it was in 2021 or 2022 where I intentionally put myself through like the most rigorous casting schedule possible. I was like doing like 14-hour casts like for like almost a week straight. And I wanted to like test myself. I wanted to see like if I would get like worn down or if I would like burn out. It never happened. Like we just kept going, but we just kept. It's like, oh, okay. We're good to go. So we'll be there for you, Pat. We'll be there for you. Always. At least when it comes to casting. When it comes to playing, that's when the smudge comes out, baby. That's when the smudge comes out. But yes, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. As for now, we do have our setup here. Standard opener out of Gerald. Likewise, Clem going to be opening up double gas. Double gas opener out of Clem, going for a Rax into factory. Is going to be settling in. Here we go. So far, so good. Now, with this more aggressive opener here, I should also emphasize that last game Clem did open up economically. He went for a Rax expand. This time, with a more assertive start, we could see a commitment into Reactor Reaper Hellion. We could commit into like a proxy starport. I mean, there's no SCV out on the map. For a Hellion drop, we can go into early Banshee production, early Tank drop, early Cyclone drop, committed Wintermine drop as well. There's a lot of potential here for Clem. We'll see what direction he takes us in. We shall see. As for now, he's being active with that Reaper. Does move out. And we have our take of choice on the Protoss. It is going to be a Twilight Council opener from Gerald. Wait for the Twilight Council. Up. Reaper dips in. Reaper force back. It's going to be force back. No tech lab, no add-on swap. Interesting, and we see why. Going for an early drop. Medevac is on the way. Marines, and alongside, I would imagine, a Widowmine as well. Okay, so early game aggression out of Clem, which is what we expected out of a double gas opener. It's going to be more aggressive early on. Just waiting for that factory production as well. There it is. We actually saw Clem backing up a lot of resources there, so a bit of a later tech lab on that factory. Despite that, the first wood mine is here, and here comes the drop. Here comes the drop across the map. I believe the Adept barely did spot it. Will delay the expansion. Nicely done here by Gerald. There's nothing to defend. Uh-oh. As Clem is going to be stuck on a one-base setup. On a one-base economy, at least a little bit longer here, as he's committing to his drop. Yeah, boys are being pulled. This is a really drastic response here for Clem. But he just wants to expand. There we go. Finally, he could land. The shade runs out. There are Stalkers back at home. But the drop does boost into the main. Going for the mineral line. Wouldn't mind does burrow, doesn't want to waste it on the probes. Up! Does unburrow in time. And so far, he gets 4 probe kills. Not bad. 4 workers going down. The Widowmine wants to zone away the Stalkers, ideally. And he's going for the pylon. Oh, can he get it? He can. No shot. The Atosis pylon goes down. Mine shot goes off, and Blink is delayed. Very nice snipe here. Blink is going to be heavily delayed. 2 gamers get depowered as well. Atosis, not like this. As Clem does pull away, even saving the medevac and 4 Marines. Does pull away in time. Behind this, we have Gerald, of course, trying to recover back at home. He's going to be delayed. He's stuck. Third base now on the way. And Clem is free to continue his aggression. Now going for Liberators and going for another Raven follow-up. We saw how effective this Raven harass can be, how difficult it can be to deal with, and Clem can just continue that here as well. Now again, it is very unorthodox to respond with like a Stargate into like a Phoenix or a Void Ray to deal with 1 Raven, so with good enough control, the Raven should just survive and just stay in the dead space the entire game once again. So Clem going to be embracing that for a second time. Geralt, meanwhile, just stuck at home, taking up, not just Blink Stalkers, now taking towards that bay, towards Disruptors, towards Colossus. Meanwhile, Gerald, he does get eyes on that lid. At least I assume so, as he's trying to find any stray unit here in the corner of the map. Medevac checks, and Clem scouts the third base. Okay, so he's aware of the third. He's aware there is no all-in. Army breaks out. Stim is actually only just now beginning. Very delayed stim here for Clem. But despite that, because of the third base, he feels free enough to move out like this. To break out. As Clem moves out, Gerald comes in from behind, catching reinforcements, going for the tank. Nice blink. He gets one. One tank goes down. Very nice catch. Likewise, getting more reinforcements as well. At the same time, Liberator does siege up. Denies mining. Clem pushes. So far, a better start for Gerald. Takes down the medevac. Ooh, but he's going to be overwhelmed. Stalker does fall. Clem is going for the expansion. The Raven takes a lot of hits. Does survive. Raven does survive. Tanks that within range of the expansion. Gerald, he can't engage, not like this. The Marines are still active in the main. Gerald is getting pulled apart. Tries to come in from behind. Ooh, dives in. He's going to get punished for it though. The tank does go down, but for a price. The cost of every single one of those stalkers. The base goes down as well. Gerald is just being pulled apart. Losing what was that? 5-6 stalkers. 8. Jeez, the 8 stalkers going down for a tank and for one liberator. And Clem can just back off. The damage. Oh, jeez. Clem, calm down. Kills his own Marine. He's crazy. CJ, he wants a Colossus. Stims in. I won't get it though. He shouldn't. He will. No, sure. He does get the Colossus. He gets the Colossus as well. Takes out the Stalkers, just rallying across the map. And Clem, does he have too much? He shouldn't. There's a shield battery, there's a second Colossus. Gerald holds. Whew, Gerald, he will hold on. Does survive. Jeez, the retarding with the wind wine. Clem, take a breath. As Clem now getting his third base, floating on over. Oh. Matchup goes off. And again, Gerald, he will finally force Clem back. Will force him to retreat. Gerald can now expand, but Gerald, he's behind. He is down in bases, down in workers, down in economy, I should say. Ideally, the Protoss wants to be up a base compared to the Terran, but we're behind. As the third base is still in production, and Clem, he has his own third up and running. Throws down another auto turret. Raven survives. Then rotating in. Catching a probe. Oh. From here he pulls away. Double jump into the natural. Gerald, he's keeping up. Does warp in. Despite that, we'll lose 2 probes. 7 in total. Oh, the Michaels are brutal. 13 probes going down. Ay. Medevac doesn't get away, doesn't escape. Massive pickoff. Gerald, he does punish. He's still in this game. Is still in this, but still has a rough road to travel. Still has a lot of recovering to do. As up to 2, soon to be 3 Colossus. Clem on full 3-base saturation. Ghost Academy's on the way. Jeez, Clem can't. He takes down the Roomba. It's getting everything. The Marine earlier. The Colossus. The neutral creeps. The bloodlust is real. Clem is settling in. Likewise, Gerald trying to recover. We have a Disruptor production now beginning. We have the Temple Archives now done for Storm. Now, on the one hand, yes, Disruptors are a way to recover in this game state, as Storm has now just begun. Novas, they can pop off and you can make up and even take a fight even if you have less supply. But here we have a pretty large deficit and it's going to take more than a couple of Novas. 4th CC's on the way. Clem securing his economy. Again, just playing it slow. which makes sense. Like, the reality here is that there's no reason, there's no pressure on Clem to push. Like, he doesn't have to break the third, doesn't have to push into the natural. Denying the fourth base would be nice, I would say that at least, but even then, like, Clem is far enough ahead where he can just be the first to max. He can just be the first to max out and then push. Maestro connects. The Colossus should not be here. He's going to call down the open. One Colossus goes down. 1, 2, or 3, actually. There's no escaping this. Gerald's caught down the open. Caught with his pants down. And speaking of recovering, it's not going to happen. Not after that. I'm sure Storm is done and we have some disruptors, but there's only so much Storm can do. Speaking of, EMP connects. One Storm lands. Just the one. More Storms coming in. Good connections. And once again, the connections with the Storms are good. But that's all we really had. As it's a kill, not a cancel on the fourth. And from here he rotates. Sorting his forces. Reinforcing once again. Moving in. Here we go. Show us those Novas. First one zones. We have one more left. Just gonna be zoning. No major connections, and now Clemmy can stem. Oh my god, Storms are still good. Grazes the army. And no more Storms, no more disruptors. Here he can stem, and he can win. As he will just overwhelm the army. The buy becomes too much, and GG, Clemmy will take the series 2-0. Advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Hold on. GG, well played. Was Alicia casting? Yo, it's been so long. GG, well played. Clem, he will take the series and will advance on to those semis. GG, well played. Ooh, congratulations. We now have our top 4. Shout out to Gerald, though. Gerald, he is, of course, an amazing player, and he made it here to the monthly finals, so a big win for a big result for Gerald to actually make it this far. And even in the first game, I want to say that Gerald, he played well. He did play well for himself. He was able to control his army well as well. He looked quite impressive against Clem, but as we mentioned, there were definitely things working against him when it came to the size of his army, when it came to, yeah, really the size of his army. Where he just didn't really have enough to support his spellcasters and support his high-tech units. That definitely was a factor in game 1. Here in game 2, just some really rough moments here. Clem was hyper aggressive with the first drop. Remember, the first drop depowers it and delays Blink. It forces Gerald to be more defensive, and then the aggression just continues for Clem. He followed up with a double tank push towards the third base. He killed the third. He caught out 8 Stalkers. He caught the Colossus thereafter. It was just brutal. It was crazy. Again, hyper aggression out of Clem. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have our semi-finalists ready. Oh boy. As we switch our scenes over and catch up on the bracket. I was hoping for an ace match at some point in the quarterfinals, but it did not happen here. 2 zeros all around. Hero 2-0 Percival, Cure 2-0 Chin. We had Zound taking down Creator and Clem taking down Gerald. Here coming into the semifinals, we have 2 PVTs. Hero versus Cure, Zound versus Clem. Let's go. Let us go. The semifinals are before us. As a reminder as well, the semifinals are going to be best of 5s, not best of 3s, so we have more matches ahead of us. And the grand finals are going to be a best of 7. Best of 7 grand finals. So, oh boy, the night is still young, or the morning, depending on where you are. It is bright and early in the morning here in Australia. Let's go. We're going to be going on a short break, though. We're going to be going on a short break and take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, tuck in your Tempest, massage your Marines, and cuddle all your Colossus. We're going to be back soon here with those semis. Here we go. So we will be back soon. Take this time to enjoy the brutal OST. See you soon.